So we've had a great time in Great Harbour Key. It is one of those good spots that we're happy to have explored a little bit because it's a good hurricane hole. So we're going to be leaving today, heading through some really shallow water on the inside of the Berry Islands down to Hoffman's Key.
'Cause I am a barefoot man, barefoot to make my stand. I bare my soles for all the world to see. Yeah. I am a barefoot man, feet planted firmly in the sand. Bare your souls, come along with me. Lose your shoes, lose your blues, come along with me.
So we have obviously waited for the tide because some of these places we're going to be crossing are only about 3.8, 3.6 on a low tide. So we have waited for the lowest point that we're going to actually cross today. We've timed it so that we should be approaching that about 1 hour before high tide. So if we have any issues, we're going to get a little extra.
Top trying to get in this channel in a hurry, so you might want to time your departure. Wait about a minute, and this guy will probably blast right through.
A little bit choppy as.
Roger, roger. Thanks for the heads up. We're standing by. Sorry guys, it's a bit of a skinny cut that you're going to see in a moment. And we just got heads up from a little buddy boat that we just met this morning. Want to come the same way as us. That someone wants to come through here at a bit of high speed, so we'll let them take it. We're not in a hurry. Some people are.
There it is. Looks like maybe he slowed down. So as you can see, Great Harbour Key is super protected because you have to go through this narrow cut to get into the anchorage. It is a little bit of a challenge to see when you're coming towards this area, but trust your charts, it is there, you will find it. And as you can see, it definitely is wide enough for our boat. And there is space in there for quite a few boats to anchor. There is also a marina, and from what I've heard, it makes check-in into the Bahamas super easy if this is your first port of call. Okay, so only about 2 weeks ago, IRECAT, they did this same route going down here. So we're following their track. We've showed them the track we're going to use, and Lonnie said there was only one spot that he had to hold his breath. So that's why we're going on a rising tide. So it should be easy peasy.
Shouldn't say that in the first 10 minutes of a trip. Easy peasy, you can say that when we get there.
Alright. I take it back.
7 feet deep.
What does it say on avionics?
So it should be 5.
Okay.
So we're just over 2 feet on the tide, which is good on that. So the charts are matching up with the tides. So that's good.
Wicked. Shallow waters.
Shallow waters, we're reading 5'8" now. That's pretty good. 5'8", 5'6", 6 foot. This is the skinniest little part. If you look at the charts, we've got 3 feet there and we've got 3 feet there. So passing through what's probably the skinniest section right now, and it should get easier from here on.
So is this where Lonnie holds his breath?
I think this is where he holds his breath. I'd have to double check with him, because he told me it was this 2 nautical stretch that he said that's the shallowest area, so try and cross that just 1 hour before high tide, and we've done it about 2 hours before high tide, so.
At least the water's going up.
Yeah, if we get stuck, the worst case is we just back off a bit or wait half hour, so.
We made it through the shallows.
We made it through the shallows, well worth it as well. That knocked about 3 hours off the trip today. We did pick up a buddy boat this morning. What's the name of the boat again?
3 score.
3 score. Met them in the marina this morning. I was picking up some water, and they decided they were going to come here, but they were going to go on the outside route. So they decided if they could tag along, they'd follow us. And fortunately, I didn't run them aground. This is always good. And this looks beautiful. We're going to be able to jump in, swim, and if there's a little bit of west wind, should be nice and calm on the other side for a bit of metal detecting, snorkeling, spear fishing, and get some grouper maybe. They're in season. Happy days. This is it. We could jump in the water here.
Alright guys, so we've just arrived in Hoffman's Key in the Berry Islands. It's beautiful.
New territory, isn't it, for us?
It's, yeah. It's kind of fun being in a new to us location.
There's so many places. The Bahamas is huge. There's so many islands around, and we've been so close to the Berry Islands, and we've done the southern ends, and we've down by Chub Key. Can't remember the name of the other place, just on the bottom there. We were there with Folly and stuff. But anyway, so up in the northern parts or the middle of the Berry Islands, we haven't been there before, and we've just arrived in Hoffman's Key after dropping off the dinghy for Brian. So, what's in Hoffman's, babe?
So in Hoffman's Key, one of the big things to see here is Hoffman's Blue Hole. So it's supposed to be stunning. So we're going to take a little hike through the forest and we're going to go jump in there. It's supposed to be, I don't know, it's a blue hole.
It's a blue hole in the middle of the island and a bit of a rock thing. It's something you can jump off, isn't it?
It gets deep right in the middle. So we're going to take one of our new toys. There are blue NOMAD systems. So do you want to explain what these are, Babe?
Yep.
We picked these up in the States.
So we picked this up in the States. We are slightly sponsored, guys. They did send us one of them for free, and we paid for the other one. So they sent me one, but they said if Erica wants one, she has to pay for one. So we've got 2 of these because we've heard they're good. And this is basically what you get in the kit. And it's basically a surface air supply. I'm going to try and make a bit of room on the table here. Surface air supply with a lithium battery which slides in the bottom here. It's already installed. And you can charge them up using your solar panels and everything else, and they last approximately 1 hour down to a depth of 30 feet. So 30 feet in the Bahamas, you can pretty much snorkel anything, dive anything, clean the bottom of your boat. It's like, it sounds amazing. We've literally just got these things, so we want to test them out, not only today, we're going to test them for a few weeks and let you guys know what we think of them. Anyway, this is basically a surface air supply with a regulator on the end. If I undo these bits here, it's all on a hose. So this part here is a harness which goes over your back. I'm not going to bother doing it out.
Well, this is the first time we're going to use it.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're going to have some fun.
So you got a regulator that goes in your mouth, just like you're scuba diving. There is a couple of bits that go on the top here. So you get like a dive flag, which is actually the snorkel. So that goes in the unit. So one, it lets people know that you're snorkeling, you're doing water activities with the flag. But it also, this is the breathe tube to make sure the machine gets the air it needs. There is as well, if you're in slightly rougher water, you can inflate this, and it's like an inflatable thing that you could grab hold of, but you don't need it if you're in calm waters.
But it comes with this handy dandy little backpack. So we're gonna go trekking through the woods, so put it in these 2 and it makes it easier to carry all of our stuff. We also have with it spare air. It's always something good to have when you're doing diving. In case you run out of air, you have this strapped to you. So
yeah, so with the spare air, I think, to be honest, the unit comes as it is with one battery which lasts about 1 hour. but you can get the upgrade package where you can buy an extra battery and also the spare air. And the spare air thing is actually a great thing, because to be honest, I love these when I'm scuba diving. You have them strapped to your BCD or strapped to your leg. If something happens with your gear, you've always got, I mean, these things.
It's a redundancy.
It's a redundancy. It's a backup. This is about 10 minutes of air for a human to be underwater, so it gives you plenty of time to come to the surface nice and slowly. So I think the upgrade package is probably a damn good idea. But yeah, let's go give them a try, because we've got a blue hole to go and dive in. And in this blue hole, there's lots of people that jump off the top. So I'm hoping people have lost phones and jewelry and all that sort of stuff, and then I can recover it.
With the metal detector.
With the metal detector, exactly.
Has someone noticed that Davy's really excited? He gets his like little childish grin on his face. I get to go play with my new toys.
I don't know what you mean. Let me go play. Come on, let's go.
Okay, so we just got back from diving in the blue hole. The visibility wasn't amazing, but it was still kind of a cool experience. Neither one of us was brave enough to jump off that top ledge into the blue hole, but there is like a path that went down into that cool cave, so it was nice and cool in there actually. Kept us out of the sun. The blues are awesome. So the depth in that blue hole around the edge was just past 30 feet. So we were able to go down to about 30 feet with the blues, and there was still a little bit more depth, and definitely in the middle I think it goes a little bit deeper. They are different than scuba diving, obviously, because you are attached to something. I find they're a little bit noisier than scuba diving. When you're scuba diving, it's nice and peaceful and quiet. With these, there is a little bit of noise that comes from the unit itself, but it's still super cool. It's for the Bahamas, where you don't always have the chance of filling up dive tanks. It's quite shallow as well in the Bahamas for the most part. So I think these things are going to be pretty cool to use in our travels. So I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Stay tuned for more.
Man says, I'm sorry, son, but where's your shoes? I say, ain't got none. If you want to come inside of here, you just better go and find yourself some. I said, man, whatever you're selling, I surely don't want none. If it means I gotta hide my toes from the lovely, 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 lovely sun. I am a barefoot man, barefoot to make my stand. I bare my soul for all the world to see, yeah. I am a barefoot man, feet planted firmly in the sand. Bare your feet, set your souls free.